That now brings us to our council report. Councilman Emmanuel.
A couple of weeks ago, most of us went to the GMA conference in Savannah and learned quite a bit. And just let people know that's an annual event, and city council members from all over the state attend it. Have a lot of good classes, a lot of good seminars, and just really helps keep the city running the way it should. It gives us all good information that we can use. As you've probably seen, July 4th was rained out, and I just want to remind everybody it has been rescheduled for August 31st, so we're going to have fireworks over Labor Day. And just put that on your calendar, because it's going to be an outstanding event, as the July 4th event is just simply rescheduled. That's all I have for tonight.
Councilwoman Kraus.
Good evening. I too would like to talk about the GMA convention, and I want to thank the citizens of Snellville for allowing me the opportunity to attend in Savannah. I attended as many classes and courses that time allowed, and I was very impressed with the education that I received and the municipalities that spoke about their downtown communities. I attended Taxation 101, the opening and closing sessions, understanding the up and coming workforce, planning and zoning class, and a host of other discussions. Something that was drilled in my head in every single class I went to, every discussion I attended, and every panel that I heard. The millennial generation, 70 million people born between 1979 and 1994. Generation X, 46 million, born between 1965 and 1978. And the baby boomers, 78 million, born between 46 and 64. I want to just comment on the millennial generation. These young people, this generation, want to live in a walkable community so much that they will choose the city that they want to live in before they have a job. Baby boomer like me didn't work that way. You got your job and then you moved your family to that city. This is a complete opposite for me to try to understand that this generation coming up and then the next generation, that's what they're looking for. They want to be able to walk. They're not concerned, or their concerns are not as high as where they're living. They want to be in a unit that keeps them dry, warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and they want to be able to walk to that Starbucks, and they want to be able to walk to their faith community and their grocery stores and get their children in the playgrounds. They are very hardworking, a very hardworking generation, but they want to play too. I try to compare it as a baby boomer with the way that I grew up, and it seemed like we work 24/7. And we just don't stop to relax and smell the flowers. And this generation wants that. They don't have a problem with living on top of retail. They don't have a problem with living in a condo unit or a gated apartment. Their living area is not that important. I mean, their living area is, as long as it's walkable. That's the key. You people elected me, and I sit in this chair. I only sit in this chair because I can't fit all of you in this chair. You are my boss. I need to hear from you. I need to hear what you want this city to do. I need you to tell me what kind of walkable community you're looking to get. Do you want retail with living on top of it? Do you want a gated apartment? Do you want a gated condo? Do you want zero lot lines in this town center? I can't do this by myself. This council can't do it by themselves. This city manager is working day and night with the LCI. He's working as hard as he can. But I need to hear from you people. When public comment comes, there should be a line all the way out the door saying, Ms. Krause, you need to research this. We want this in our city. We want to do this. We want to bring the younger generation here and get this city rolling. I don't want to hear anything negative. I want to hear all positive. I want you guys to be revved up and fired up. And let's get this city going. Let's get it moving. Let's get it going forward. And we're trying to do the best we can, but I need to hear from you in a very, very positive fashion. What is it you want? What do you want us to do? What do you want us to research? Let's get going on this city, and let's make it walkable, if that's what you want. Let's get this town center going. Let's get things happening. I've called, let me just take an example, a butcher out of Portland, Maine. Great meats, okay? I talked to him on the phone. Come to Snellville. Come and see what we have. He did his, I guess, whatever they do, their locations, or they do their reports as to what Snellville can give them. They said, sorry, you don't have what it takes for us to build in your city. I don't want to hear that anymore. I want people to be begging to get in here. We need another example. I stayed in a hotel in Medford, Massachusetts, Hyatt Place. It's a small hotel, perfect for Snellville, perfect. A little conference center, I think it was 100 rooms, a few stories up, just a compact place that Snellville could use. But I thought to myself, what am I going to tell them? How am I going to get them here? What can Snellville offer them to get them to come build in our city? Tell me. Talk to me. Email me. Telephone me. Let me know what you want in your city, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm a good researcher, and I'll get what you want. I'll work my heart out to get this city rolling and get it walkable and get it going. But you're the boss. I got to hear from you. I guess that's all I have to say. I don't usually do a council report, and somehow I got fired up about this, so I'll blame it on Savannah. But thank you for your attention, and let me hear from you. Positive. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Howard.
How in the world do you follow that? I mean, come on. Oh, my stars. Where's your ring? I should do something. I don't know. One thing I'm sitting here thinking, Diane's talking about the millennials not wanting to, to be able to walk everything. Well, I've seen a lot of them drive. That's not a bad thing. So, just saying. Not meant to hurt any feelings, but I want to remind those that haven't had the opportunity to take a hard look as you exit that door to the Veterans Memorial Freedom Flame. I'm not going to steal any of Mayor Pro Tem Witz's thunder tonight. But it's something we need to do as a community. You saw the PGR here tonight. Those ladies and gentlemen give their hearts when they do the things that they do. So when you see them at events or different things, just realize the commitment that these folks have made to do what they do, and they do it without sacrifice. I too was in Savannah, had the pleasure of being there that weekend. So one of my classes, one full day of it was Financial Management 2. Okay, that's the same reaction the class got when he introduced the class. Everybody was really excited. But it was a great class, seeing a lot of the people, a lot of the cities, have their same successes, and we have the same challenges. So we're not a lot of different when you get right down to it. It's, there's a lot of similarities, but a lot of good stuff. On a closing note, I hope that you took the 4th of July opportunity to spend some money, and I certainly hope that you spent it, locally, because I'll continue to talk about that, and I'll continue to thank each and every one of y'all, as Diane alluded to, for the opportunity to sit in this chair, because she's right. Y'all are our bosses, and we can get done what y'all help us get done. It's that simple. And But again, thank y'all all for being here, and travel safe going home.
Mayor Pro Tem Woods.
Again, how do you follow Diane Krause? I've had the pleasure of knowing Diane for 25 years, and I served with her on our parish council, and I promise you, when she says she can research, she'll drive you crazy researching. She'll research you to death. So if you want something researched, by all means, you let Diane know, and she'll get it done for you. I promise that. Again, I was at GMA. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity. I echo what Diane said about the need for the city to diversify. Our housing we're stuck with one-story ranches on 3/4 acres, and it's a small market in today's world with the things that the people are buying. So it's something we need to address and realize that there is a problem with that, and we're going to have to decide what we want to do about it. You have to decide what you want to do about it, so that we, as Diane said, so we can get it done. Ms. Forbes, thanks for being here tonight. Thank you for accepting my phone call this afternoon and the conversation we had. To bring you up to date, I don't think were you in the work session, but it was brought up about your appointment to the URA, and the mayor announced that she was appointing you at the next meeting. So we look forward to supporting you on that, and look forward to having you on that committee. And 4th of July, personally, that's the second hit the memorial's taken this year. We planned on having a big turnout for Snellville days and sell a lot of bricks, and that didn't happen. And then 4th of July we thought was another opportunity, and that didn't happen. But we're regrouping, and the good side is that we're looking forward to announcing soon when we're going to break ground. We do plan on breaking ground in the near future. We've had some generous contributions that we'll discuss at a later date, but some generous contributions that help us get towards that goal. And hopefully, the grace of God, we'll have our flame relit for this Veterans Day. But again, that's tentative right now, but that's what our goal is, and we're looking forward to that. And that's it. Thank you all for coming, and look forward to seeing you all in the near future. And don't forget, August 31st is when the new fireworks display is going to be. It'll be a great way to end our summer. Thank you.
Councilman Sabag.
I too echo council members can't follow. They're great with the research that's done by Councilwoman Diane Krause, and I do appreciate her notes that actually made me learn something from you tonight, Diane. Thanks. I too was at GMA in Savannah, Georgia. I've sat through a lot of meetings. One class in particular I sat through is called Resolution Conflicts. I'm drafting some of the notes about a pretty great class, very nice class. I will put them together as best I could, and should be able to share the notes that I captured with the rest of the mayor and council. There's a lot more than just classes. There's social networking going on, and there's a huge place. There are a lot of folks from different cities meeting and greeting other folks and asking key questions about how they do things in their cities is really an incredible wealth of information that I had found that I gained from the attendees. The exhibits, we had an exhibit hall, and that's also, to me, is just knowledge that I don't have anywhere. Under one roof, you can go from one exhibitor to the next that can help you gauge a perspective about how cities obtain these services or the tools out there. Moving on, happy Independence Day. I know we have rescheduled the fireworks for safety reasons. It's important to celebrate the 4th of July. I have done, like Diane here, did a little bit of research on the computer in front of me here, and I ask you to be with maybe the younger generations. The injuries, according to the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, roughly 46% of the injuries are to the hands. There's about 200 people that get admitted on an average in an emergency room because of fireworks misuse. 46% to the hand, 17% to the eyes, 17% to the head. And the top contributor to these injuries is the spark maker, the one you hold by your hands. These things get pretty hot. So be careful. Maybe you need to let the ones, if you have little ones out there, tell them to come and watch the fireworks. On Flag Day, we had a great time at the City Hall steps as we celebrated together Flag Day. Thank you all who have helped in making this possible. Thank you to Councilman Schultz and crew for helping with the sound system. That was really a big thing, and I do appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for your support, and the Boy Scouts. Without them, I think would have probably gone thirsty. It was pretty hot. Thanks to the Disabled American Veterans, Gwinnett County Chapter 90, American Legion Post 232, Knights of Columbus, St. Oliver, the VFW Post 4180, Button Gwinnett Chapter Sons of the American Revolution, Snellville Lodge, Masonic number 99, Boy Scout Troop 553, St. Matthew's Episcopal Church, and as we saw tonight, the Patriot Guard Riders were here today. And special thanks to Mr. Sanders and Karen McKay for helping out. You'll have a great evening. Thank you.
That concludes the council report. Now for the mayor's report. Georgia Municipal Association, GMA, holds two conferences, annual conferences each year. One in January, that's called Mayor's Day, that's open to everyone, and then one in June, that is the summer conference. I did not attend the summer conference this year. I did attend the Mayor's Day conference in January, but I'm glad that council was able to attend. I've been going to GMA conferences since I was first elected to council back in 2008, I believe it was, and I do plan on attending a 3-day training conference with GMA in Athens in September. Since the last council meeting, I had the pleasure to, Eric is surprising me with what I have the pleasure to do first. To honor Dr. Joel Shaven, who is a local dermatologist here in the city of Snellville. Dr. Shaven has been operating his dermatology practice in the city of Snellville for 35 years, and he celebrated his anniversary a week ago, and I had the honor of declaring it Dr. Shaven Day in the city of Snellville, presented him and his lovely wife with a proclamation, and wish him continued success in his future. Want to thank him and his whole practice for the service they provide to our community. I know he was my dermatologist when I was in high school. He's treated my whole family, and he's treated many of us here in the city of Snellville. So I want to thank Dr. Shaven and wish his practice continued success. I also had the opportunity to go, Tom invited me, the owner of the Chick-fil-A on Scenic Highway, invited myself and my husband to take a backstage tour of Chick-fil-A corporate office. This is something I didn't realize that Chick-fil-A did, but I'm so glad I went. The way that the Chick-fil-A Corporation runs their business and the family orientation that they have is just remarkable. The branding that they do and the spirit they have as soon as you walk through the door of the corporate office is amazing. This is something we got a special tour because we were affiliated with one of the local Chick-fil-A operators, but this is something that they do for free for citizens. They're booked through the summer, but anyone can go out there and take a backstage tour of the corporate office. I would like in the future to arrange for our department directors to go out there and take a tour and see the philosophy that Chick-fil-A and Truett Cathy has embedded in his employees. You can just see it from all different levels of employees, just how enthusiastic they are, not just about their product, but about their company and how they look after one another and have a can-do attitude. And so it was very refreshing. It's a great organization, and the Chick-fil-A on Scenic Highway and the Chick-fil-A on 78 have always been good to our community, have always been there to help us when we've needed it. The Chick-fil-A on 78, I didn't realize this, but they were the third freestanding Chick-fil-A ever. So it is one of the oldest, it is the third oldest Chick-fil-A in the history of Chick-fil-A. So that's something that the city of Snellville has to be proud about. That is it for my mayor's report tonight. I wish you all a safe trip home. Thank you for coming out tonight. We'll open it for public comment. Please state your name and address for the record.
Marilyn Swinney, 1832, Glenwood Lane, Snellville, Georgia. Just a quick comment to Ms. Kraus. We grew up in a city that had living, over retail. Until this day, they have it. And it prospers. And it's a walking. They do their grocery shopping, they walk to the grocery stores, the cleaners. It works. It's going, there are people there that still don't have a driver's license. They don't need it. They walk everywhere. Okay. At the last council meeting, tiny pieces of information were distorting the actual facts about me and another citizen. There is a video that will be on YouTube that will actually show these comments that were made. But I wanted to repeat, Marcy Ferris nor I asked to speak to the juvenile court judge. We asked to fill out an open records request. We were informed that juvenile court did not do open records requests, and they referred us to the bailiff. The bailiff brought up the calendar for February 1st and said that Ms. Coates did have a court date for 8:30, but she could not tell if it was postponed or what happened. So I just asked for a copy of the calendar, and she said she would ask the judge if it was okay. She went into the court and then came out and told us the judge wanted to speak to us. He explained that juvenile court was different than regular court, and he did not feel comfortable giving us a copy of the calendar. We told him we understood, thanked him, and left. At no time was the word investigators or investigation used. And I challenge Ms. Coates. Set up an appointment with that judge and bailiff, and you and I and Marcy Ferris will meet with him. I refuse to allow you to tarnish my reputation. The next item was when you stated that we were stopped by the police for wrongdoing, when the truth is we called the police because we felt threatened by your thugs blocking our exit from the cul-de-sac. And we never put anything fraudulent out. Here's the police report that I actually called in. Okay, the date is up here, and it was November 6th. This was the officer, Dwight Slayton. Here's my name, my phone number, and it says that we were waiting at Lenora Church in Green Valley because we advised a black truck was following them through the neighborhood and blocked them in the cul-de-sac. So the police did not stop us. We called them. Once again, you're trying to tarnish my reputation. When I ran against you, I never badmouthed you. I didn't know you. My platform was representation on my side of town. All council members, except for the mayor, lived from Skyland to Summit Chase, and I wanted representation on my side. My lawsuit was against you, but the whole council and city is the governing body. I was not allowed to just sue you. You and you alone infringed on my First Amendment rights, and you made every single citizen of the city pay for it. We have had enough of your inaccuracies, and my purpose in speaking tonight is to set the record straight for just a couple of erroneous facts. I think you have enough problems without creating more. Thank you.
Kenneth Carey, 2300 Country Walk. One of the things I've always, and I was talking to a guy today, who was in the gym, we're talking about how a lot of business on 78 when you're between 124 and on 78 to all the way you get to Indian Trail. And I don't know, as a council member, a council men and women, what do you do about the traffic? Because it seems that a lot of business seem to can't prosper in that area because of the traffic, because you can't get in and out of a lot of businesses. And that's just one of my comment, observations in the future.
Madam Mayor, councilors, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Claudette Forbes, and I live at 2781 Londonderry Court. First off, I'd like to personally thank Councillor Mike Sabah and the Snellville Quality of Life Unit for helping me out when I had an abandoned property in my subdivision. I did some research and I got the lender's name and information. I called them and they were rude to me. And the following day I called again. This time they were not rude, but they were sarcastic. So I thought I needed help. And I called Councillor Sabah and the Snellville Quality of Life Unit, and in short order, the property was taken care of. So on behalf of the residents of Rose Lake Subdivision, I'm saying to you a big thank you. I have something else to say, Madam Mayor. It's a poem I like to read. However, I think it's awkward for me to read the poem with these folks behind me. So with your permission, I'd like to step to the side and maybe do it without the mic. Is that okay? Because there's some people here who are having the poem, and I like to all face me that I'm reading. I'll try. Can you hear me in the back? Okay, if you can't hear me, just do this and I'll speak up. I wrote this poem. I don't memorize my poem, I just write it. Okay, so I can. Is that better? Yeah, that's fine with me. Can you hear me now? It's called The Garden at Snellville. It was an idea, and a good one, you know, to make a garden so we could grow veggies, flowers, or whatever you like in your own plot to your own delight. So we got together and started to plan. We formed groups in which we all had a hand. And after much effort, we were ready to go to start our garden at Park Briscoe. So we tossed the branches and the tree trunks too. The weather was cold, but we didn't give a hoot. We had a few stumbles. Gretchen knows about that. We laughed at each other while staying on track. We cleared the land in no time at all. It was a lot of fun. We all had a ball. Suzanne's perfume was quite unique. She told me she was wearing Clinique. Gretchen, you're making me laugh. We planted apple trees and blueberries too. Frank took charge and guided the crew, while Kurt, Ronnie, Tom, and the rest of the gang were hammering the beds one by one. Then the wheelbarrow gang, they went to work, up and down, moving the dirt. Diana and Charlene had a spring in their step, while Dave and Kathy, at the gate, they sweat. Even Mayor Courts, she joined the gang, filling a few barrels with shovel in hand. And Bobby, he was the tiller man. He handled that thing just like a handyman. And the bees, let's not forget, in their corner, working without a sweat, laden with pollen, red and yellow, darting in and out just like an arrow. And little Sean, he's barely 3. He was hauling dirt alongside me, happy to be there with his mom Kelly. He was the cutest thing to see. Martha, Eileen, Olivia too, gave advice from the master's view, showing the rookies how to plant their crops and use barrels to catch raindrops. So the beds are done and are all sold out. We have tomatoes, peppers, beans, and Brussels sprouts, cabbage, arugula, corn, tarragon, beetroot, melon, squash, okras. We're giving hunger the boot. So let the garden at Snellville be a reminder that we as a people can work together. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Does anybody want to follow that with public comment?
Kurt Schultz, 2027 Tanglewood Drive. Thank you, Claudette. That was wonderful. Just a little follow-up on that. As she mentioned, we have a bed out at the garden for Give Hunger the Boot, and don't have the exact numbers, but I know we have taken over 100 pounds of vegetables to the Southeast Food Co-op so far. So. And I want to thank our vendors from the market. They have donated a good bit now, and it seems every time we go out to the garden, we've got a container out there, and there's always some extra vegetables in there that we take out the next day or as soon as possible next day that they're open. So I want to thank our vendors. I know that you're not out here right now, but we're trying to let them know we appreciate it very much, what they're doing, and also our fellow gardeners that are donating, because this Giving Hunger the Boot is really a good piece of legislation for the city. So thank you.